yeah, so it starts with the council meeting, like discussing politics. Then Colorus barges in. Well, while everyone is bickering about politics, our shipments are getting attacked by the crab feeder.
Yeah, that
Then
shit was
like
crazy.
yeah, it's like they even it even went to the detail of the crab entering the foot of one guy who was still alive.
Yeah.
Kind of disturbing, but yeah, that's classic GOT. Yeah, so the highlight there was like the highlight in that scene was Rhaenyra. Okay, trying to remember how to read her. Rhaenyra stepping in, it's like,
Mhm.
why don't you send me in and I will decimate them with my dragons, or at least use them as a show of force with the dragons. But then Viserys like, no, let us handle this. So they send her away through choosing the captain of the next head of the watch, right? Which
Yeah.
is chosen by Kristen, Sir Kristen Cole. Rhaenyra ends up choosing Kristen Cole because of his battle experience
Yeah.
compared to all the other candidates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that's within reason for Rhaenyra to do, but at the same time, I think, well, given Rhaenyra's very young, I think she has sort of a crush with Kristen Cole. Uh, I think she should have given all the others a chance too, because just because this person has battle experience doesn't mean he's actually good at it, or he's actually a good leader. I
Mhm.
think Otto Hightower is correct in that matter.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Then okay, that's the first part of the second episode. Then the big meet is when Coloris and Renis, Coloris' wife, also Viserys' cousin, approach Viserys to marry their 12-year-old daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was so uncomfortable. I was like, dude,
yeah,
like she's so like, oh my, she's 12 years old, and I'm pretty sure like what was that thing in the OG Game of Thrones? They were talking about, like, Sansa was talking about, like she's afraid, like she's afraid to have her period, right? It's because if she has her period, that means that you can actually bear a child.
mhm,
And so that's why when like the daughter was like, hey, we're supposed to get, my dad wants, us to get married, and like when I become of age, I can bear your child. I'm just like, she's a kid. She's a
yeah,
fucking kid, man.
yeah. That's it's so scripted, and it's like that's something that she was coerced to say, because no 12-year-old is gonna say stuff like that.
Yeah, we
There's just no way.
we should join our houses, and like, with, we have common interests, and we will be big power. And then they're like, your dad says, your dad told you to say that, right?
Say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really weird. But yeah, the ending, I actually did you see it coming? Because I saw it coming, because like
Yes.
there were so many hints, even on the episode 1. It was already implied something was going to happen between them. And yes, the game, sorry, I'm so used to talking about games. The episode the episodes, there were so many scenes with Allison's like, oh, you're so nice. Oh, thank you very much. Like, oh no, they're going that route. They're going that
Yeah.
route.
And the thing is that, like, the hand, right, the hand of he's from Hightower, like, you could tell, like, ever since, like, he's basically playing the game, and he was like, go be his, like, like, take care of him, make sure he's good, make sure
Mhm.
he sees you every day, be nice, listen to what he has to say and stuff like that. Like, in episode 1, that already happened. So in episode 2, I'm like, like right in the beginning, when there's like, oh, that the king has to have king has to have another wife, and I'm just like, it's going to be her, guaranteed. It's going to be her. It's not going to be anyone else.
Yeah, yeah. It just actually, it kind of highlights us. For me, it kind of highlights Damon, actually,
Mhm.
because do you remember in the first episode, when Damon was about to be banished by Viserys, like, I see uh I see Otto for what he is. I don't know if I can say the word, but Viserys like, what, a loyal subject? Then Damon was like, CUNT. He's taking
Oh,
advantage of, yeah.
Oh, you
He's
can say
taking
that.
it.
You can say that. It's YouTube.
I'm not sure with YouTube. I know Twitch is fine, but I'm not sure with YouTube because I know
Yeah.
YouTube is has high censorship. It's like I think it kind of highlights he was correct. Like the way I see Otto right now, he's kind of like a little finger.
Oh
He's
yeah,
a
for sure.
yeah. It's like I was waiting for him to be like when Viserys was like, "I'm gonna marry Allison." I was gonna. It's like, is he gonna get shocked or is he gonna get yeah? Then he was like, it was actually the latter. So it's like, yeah, I think Damon may have a point. He's being played by his one of his most loyal subjects. So it
Absolutely.
kind of it kind of highlights. Yeah, Damon is he's edgy, he's brutal, he's inconsiderate, but he may actually have some better traits compared to Viserys. Like he has more of the stern leadership takes, which
Hmm.
makes me think like maybe he really is supposed to take the Iron Throne at least at some time later. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's episode 2 kind of like also hints that Viserys is really not meant to be because his injury from the throne, right, is his finger.
Yeah, it's getting
It
worse.
yeah, it didn't heal. It got even it got infected and all that. So it's like I've read somewhere in the comments actually in one of the reviews like that symbolizes that you are not fit to rule the Iron Throne. So there's probably gonna be more of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's the kind of Catlow says it's uncomfortable nowadays for sure, but during medieval times, 12-year-old girls were marrying age. Yeah, that like it's just
True.
like it's not like it's sort of like when you hear so and so these two people are like incest was a normal thing in royal family, right? Because they want to keep the royal blood and they want to keep that going. But the chances of you having like a kid that's sort of like have some kind of mental mental abnormations and stuff like that, where like your brain will not develop correctly, that happens. You have a higher risk of that. But the thing is that they're going to continue trying. But it's sort of talking about like how it's like this is like back in the day, back in like consider this like medieval times, right? And how like there was no modern medicine there, so like doing a C-section will kill the woman, like in the first episode. And having kids, what's it called again, already like arranged marriage from the get-go. Like for me, like I only probably know two people that actually got arranged marriages, like from like their parents knew each other and then they arranged them up, like even though if they're really really young. But if you think about it, like it's when Sansa was like she was like 14 or 13 in the first episode, and then she's like she when there was blood all over her mattresses and her sheets, she was freaking out because she knows what's going to happen, and she does not like Joffrey. So with her, with this little girl who's I was going to say level 12, when she's 12 years old,
Yeah.
it's it's just like, well, that's how it was back then, like people don't tend to live until they're like 80. People like back in the medieval days, like in actual like Renaissance era and stuff like that, like medieval times, like people, if you'll be lucky to live up to like 30 or 40, because like plague or like sickness or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So but yeah.
Yeah, there was no medicine at that time and every quality of life wasn't really as good back then. Yeah, definitely. So which I don't know. They kind of leave it a more actually they left kind of the episode a morally gray area. I forgot how old Allison is in the series.
I think she's 14.
Yeah, so it's still pretty young too. So it's like if you're the king, if you're gonna engage in something like well, society's kind of forcing you to do it since you're the king.
Hmm.
Like, did he do the right thing in choosing Allison over Lena?
I like for me as like I don't think I think he chose wrong. But the thing is that
Ye-
I do know where he's coming from, because he actually said, I don't know you. Like, this is our first time talking. I don't know you. Versus like, I've known this girl for 6 months ever since, because this is between episode 1 and 2 is 6 months, right? So it's 6 months since my wife died, and this girl has been by my side every single day. Like So for me, like I've known her, I've grown accustomed to her, and like she knows me, and the fact that like when I dropped my Balerion like little like 3D printed figure, like you fixed it for me, like that's like a very like touching thing. So like I don't even know you, 12-year-old little girl, but like even though like I'm trying to see on his end as like a person who wants to get into a relationship with someone, um in terms of like a business, right? Because like marriage is considered a business, even till this day. Marriage for a lot of people is considered business, and with that you have the king choosing how he went with his heart, other than other than went with his head, with his brain, because knowing that like if he married the 12-year-old, yes, it will bolster the family, it will make the family a lot stronger, and you'll have was it Valeria? Is that where they're from?
Yeah, Valerian bloodline to make
Yeah,
the
and
bloodline
and
stronger.
and like you have like and we all know what Valerian steel is, and so you have like the power of that. But now you sort of went against your sort of what's good for your family and for the kingdom, and you did something else. Now your enemy, now he's basically your enemy, and now your enemy is going to give that sort of access to the person that wants the throne the most. So I'm pretty sure maybe in like episode 3 or something like that, like I don't know, maybe Damon will sort of be like, I'll take you, 12-year-old girl, as my wife, is because this people will respect me, right? Now people respect the Valerian and Valeria, and you respect the Targaryen name. So now people are going to think this is a foolish move. This is a weak move. And same thing with like it, back in the day when you think that like, oh, women cannot be in charge, only men can be in charge. If you think that way, you already have a king that has decided his heir is going to be a female, right? Not like, let's put it black and white, not the daughter, but just a female in general. Like as me, as back in the day, thinking closed mindedly, I'm just be like, wait, we can't have a female be a ruler. That won't happen. So maybe like there's gonna be some kind of struggle between power between both brothers. I'm not yeah, yeah, between both brothers.
Yeah, for sure. And like Colress already got so angry when during the council when Viserys decided to marry Allison. He already went to Daemon right away towards the end of the episode. It's like if he's already helping out Daemon. It's like if you
Mhm.
defeat the crab feeder that's attacking my ships, it'll solidify his position. It'll further solidify his position to be king. And yeah,
Yeah.
I actually didn't think of the what you said, that he might actually marry Lena instead. Yeah, I that's definitely a possibility for sure. I didn't even think about it. Because like he was in the episode, he was like with the hooker, Misari is gonna make him his he was gonna make her his wife, and
Yeah.
allegedly their child, which is actually not true. He was just spreading around that she was pregnant, but she wasn't.
Yeah.
Then it, when I watched it the second time, I didn't know that I didn't realize that he admitted it to Rhaenyra when Rhaenyra
Mhm.
swooped in the
Yeah.
bridge with Cyrax. I thought it was gonna be a Cyrax versus Sector battle, but
It's Thor.
it didn't. Because it was the Red Dragon. But then
Mhm.
I didn't hear the first time that I didn't notice that Daemon said it to Rhaenyra that Missaria wasn't actually pregnant. It's like about to be child, about to be. I didn't know that Damon admitted it to Rhaenyra. I
Mhm.
thought that Damon just hid it that she wasn't actually pregnant. Back in the scene where Missaria and Damon were saying like, why did you say that? Why did you say that I'm your queen and I'm gonna be your child and stuff like that? Like she
Mhm.
all Missaria ever wanted. That's why she went with Damon was to be free from all these abuse of power, but
Yeah.
Daemon is pulling her right into it. But yeah, yeah, good. Maybe Daemon will get both Missaria and the kid. I mean,
Yeah.
he's already married once. It's just that he hasn't. The wife is somewhere else, probably
Like
some later in the season or in season 2 maybe.
yeah, like
So
speaking of that, right? Like they said that he's already like married, right? And he's like, well, I didn't get to choose. I didn't get to choose my
mm,
wife. So like this is the person I'm going to be choosing. And they said that like her hair was like golden or yellow or something like that, right? Something like
Yeah.
you I wonder if it's a Targaryen. No, not Targaryen. I wonder if it's a Lannister.
Oh.
Yeah, like it's because as of right
Yeah,
now we
yeah.
have not seen anyone from House Lannister yet. So and the thing is that we know that their hair is golden or what's it called again? Golden or blonde, right? And so so I was wondering that. And the thing is I did like the what's it called again? The talk when Rhaenyra showed up at the bridge talking to Daemon, and it was like, oh, like you came, like this is my castle. I'm the heir, to the throne. So this castle is rightfully mine. And he was like, well, when you become of age, it'll be yours, right? And he's
Yeah.
like, well, you also took my brother's egg, like even though my brother was only alive for like 5 minutes or something like that, that's still my brother's egg. And he's like, well, this is gonna be for my, this is gonna be for my kid. And he's like, well, do you have a kid? And he's like, not yet, so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, he
just like,
admitted it there.
yeah, he yeah, literally admitted, it's like, yeah, I lied. And the thing is that if he's willing to lie about that, he's gonna be lying all the time, right?
True,
And
true.
and for me, like man, like I can see a lot of like the sort of like emotion, like the emotions that like the subtle like eyebrow like furrows and stuff like that, like Matt Smith is giving off. Like you could tell like he really wants this and he's willing to do whatever it takes to get this. And the thing is that he's done almost everything already, right? He's lied and he's like cheated by like stealing stuff and like trying to usurp the Dragonstone. The only thing that he hasn't done is kill. So the thing is, I wonder if he, like because Rhaenyra is like, I'm right here, I'm your what's it called again? Like I'm literally that person that's right there that's stopping you from getting the throne. If
Yeah.
you really want it, kill me. Kill me right now. And then he's like, no, because I think that he values family more than anything. But
Yeah.
but he also is very selfish. But I think that he also has a soft spot for her. Like I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I don't think in a like a sexual way, but it's more like a family. Like you're my niece. Like you're like go here you go. Here's the egg. Like that. And for I think for me there is going to be a lot of like I think there's going to be a lot of really cool things that I'm going to be looking forward to. Like I want to see more like sneaky shit that like the little finger, I don't know his name, the new little finger is going to be, the hand of the king is going to be doing. I want to see more stuff that Damon.
Otto. His name
Otto.
is Otto.
Otto,
Otto.
okay.
Otto Hightower.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I I like all of that. Let's see. What else have we seen? Like other than that, like we haven't been like introduced to like any other new characters, right? Everything on season not season was episode 2 was all like revolved around like what's happening in King's Landing, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. And oh yeah, there's what do you think of the rivalry between Rhaenyra and Rhaenys, the cousin of Viserys? Do you remember that scene? Like,
No, I do not.
oh,
Can you remind me?
it's okay. What happened before? It was the discussion between Rhaenyra and Rhaenys is. Do you remember the first scene in episode 1? It was between Viserys and a woman character. That
Yes.
would
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember now. I
yeah.
remember that now. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That was Rhaenys. So it's like they had this discussion like Rhaenys telling Rhaenyra, "You're not getting the Iron Throne." Like she's saying, "Take it from me, who was a woman, like who tried to get the Iron Throne, but
Mhm.
they, instead they chose a male." So it's like Rhaenys is telling Rhaenyra, "When your father gets married, chances are he's gonna get a boy, and when that comes to pass, everyone would want that boy to be the king."
Correct.
So yeah, so they're setting up this rivalry between the two. So which I that's the part where I'm kind of most uncertain where it will go, given
Mhm.
what happened in the end of the episode. I'm sure Rennis will be kind of ticked off with that too, because she was
Yeah,
pushing for Lean as well.
she was considered the queen that never was, or something like that, right? Like I believe
Yeah,
that that's sort of like her unofficial title.
yeah,
And like for me, it's sort of like I think that Rhaenyra doesn't really care about the throne, in my opinion. I think that she's doing what her father wants, And I think like if given the opportunity, I think she wants to be more like a free spirited kind of person. It's like I
Yeah,
don't really
I
want
think so
this,
too.
but like, but the thing is that if I need to, then I will do it. And I definitely want to see more about her. Like I'm pretty sure she's she's pissed off that like, well, my daughter isn't going to be the queen, right? My daughter isn't going to be the queen and stuff like that. So
Mm.
I wonder what's going to happen. I think like so just speculating for future episodes. I think Viserys is going to die. Um, Probably the same way that Khal Drogo went, infection, right? Sort of gets an infection, cannot heal, ends up dying, ends up taking his leg, or he can't walk anymore, or something like that. And then during that time, when he's the weakest, maybe he impregnates Alicent or something like that. We're not sure, but we both know that that they're gonna pull some shit with Damon. Damon's gonna somehow like come in, like I don't know, long live the king or something like that, and like literally like
Yeah,
takes over and usurps the throne. But I don't know, like because we do know there is a time jump. Is because like when I looked at IMDb, looking up Rhaenyra, there was the one that we see right now is young Rhaenyra. So there
yeah,
is going to be an older one, and I believe they already showed her off. And so I wonder how far ahead that's going to be. Right? Is that going to be like 20 years, 10 years later? Like maybe there's going to be something that happens in between where um Rhaenyra has to flee King's Landing on Cyrax, and then like Daemon becomes the king or something like that, and like it's just we're not sure what's going to happen, but in terms of like excitement, I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow's episode. Like I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's
yeah,
episode.
yeah,
I want to see what happens.
yeah. A lot of things is gonna happen in the next episode for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's like what's it called again? If like it always happens whenever something is good or something is like really well paced, really well written, like it goes by really quick, right? For me, I felt
yeah,
like the episode like episodes go by really quick. Like I felt like House of the Dragons episode are like half an hour long, even though they're like an hour. And it's just I think the pacing is really well done. And for me, what's it called again? I actually what I actually really loved was the scale of the dragons. I know we all know that Cyrax is considered a smaller dragon, right?
yeah.
Compared to the dragon that Daemon has. Here, let me actually show you the dragon comparisons for Game of Thrones. Like it's actually really small. Like really like the dragons that we've seen like are really really small. What
Yeah,
that
compared
shit?
to the biggest ones. Yeah.
Yeah, so let me see oh, this deleted off of yeah, this might have been deleted off of what's it called again? On Reddit. That's where I found it. Let me see. All right, so let me actually. Is this gonna show? There it is. All right, there it is. Okay, so let me actually bring this up so you can see. Um. All right, so right over here. So let's go ahead and go. Let's go ahead and. All right, here it is. Boom. All right, so the last dragon is the smallest, right? So we know the last dragon, that's the smallest one. We don't know what that is. But so this is a scale. So the smallest dragon is the last dragon. The next three is Viserion, Rhaegal, and Drogon.
Oh, okay. The Game of Thrones dragons.
Yeah, Game of Thrones dragons. So we don't know who Moondance, Morgul, Shy-Cos, or Stormcloud is. We don't know what any of these are. But we do know Cyrax is right here.
Yeah.
And Melee's is Daemon's dragon, and
Oh,
Balerion is the one that's dead, the one that's in the crypt.
okay. Yeah,
So
yeah. Okay.
we knew how big Drogon was. Drogon looked big. That means that Cyrax is not full born yet. But we know that Melee's is fucking huge, right? Because if you looked at the comparison between both their dragons, Melee's neck is like fully extended out like a big dragon versus like Drogon we thought was huge, but that means Cyrax is full grown. That thing is gonna be massive, right? It's gonna be freaking huge. So like we can actually see like the what's it called again? The scales. Which dragon did Viserys has? Is it Vagar? Is this still in his?
Oh,
But
I'm
like
not. Yeah,
be,
I'm not sure either.
because because we did actually I believe Allison asked about like, oh, why don't you go riding on your dragon? And he's like, where's your dragon right now, right? And he's like, oh, he's being, like being taken care of or something like that. And the thing is that we seen both of these dragons already. Man,
Yes.
imagine seeing like these other dragons, like these massive ones. That's gonna be pretty sick. Like I want to see more of that too. I like seeing scales and stuff like that. And like this one right here is a blue whale,
Yeah,
right? So
this is a good visualization. This visualization. I didn't know that Daenerys' dragons were part of the smallest one in the hierarchy.
yeah, I didn't know either, but I'm like they're
Yeah,
pretty big. But the
yeah,
thing is that like I'm pretty sure right now Cyrax is the same size as like Drogon full grown. That's how I feel like right now because Cyrax is still growing because you get the egg you get the eggs when you're a baby, right? Like
yeah,
the egg goes with the baby, and then I believe Daenerys's dragons didn't hatch until she was maybe about a year or two taking care of them. So let's say um I think Daenerys got her dragons when she was when they gave her away to the Dothraki. So that means that Cyrax probably hatched when like Rhaenyra was probably like 4 or 5. So that means the dragon is probably like 10 years old. So like it's and that dragon looks pretty big on screen, right?
yeah,
So like I'm definitely I'm definitely loving the comparisons and stuff like that. This actually shows like how big Balerion was. So that's crazy.
yeah. And I think it was implied somewhere in the second episode. Like, there's a. I don't. I think it's. I'm assuming it's the one next to Balerion in your hierarchy.
Mhm.
I like. There's a huge dragon out in the wild. They don't know where it is,
Yeah.
and it was said somewhere there. So there's more likely than not they're gonna show that dragon.
Thanks for checking out this segment of the Project Eggroll podcast. If you like what we do here, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will know next time when we go live. We do go live every Saturday at 8 p.m. Once again, we are just getting started. Tons of more video to come. Thanks, and we'll see you guys next time.